Okay, good morning. It's great to see you all. Thank you so much for attending sales meeting. And good morning to everybody streaming in. We are so thrilled to have you all here. We are going to just jump right in. This is an exciting sales meeting we have today. I know there's been a lot of buzz about this sales meeting, so we can't wait to get started. Let's just dive in first and just talk about your sign-in. So we have one of my favorite sponsors today. She's joining us via Google Meet, and you'll get to know her in just a minute, but she does customized closing gifts through Cutco. If any of you have used a Cutco knife, you probably haven't gone back to any other knife. So in order to be eligible for her giveaway, you do need to sign in. So you can use the QR code. You can also just go directly to the link that's listed here. Please make sure it's all lowercase. And yeah, get signed in so that you can get eligible for this giveaway. Okay, let's dive into our announcements first, starting with our broker moment. We'll bring Krista Deacon on up and have her share some things.
Good morning, everybody.
Hi.
She's amazing. I didn't have to do anything. Fourth quarter of the year. We're getting ready for Thanksgiving, Halloween, and Christmas. You don't know how many days there are till Christmas?
Not enough.
Not enough. All right, well, it's coming fast, you guys. You can't slow that down. Anyway, fourth quarter to-do list on the real estate side of things. We've got E&O insurance, which is going to be billed on your October bill. 7th, 6th? Next week sometime. One of the days next week. I don't know which day that is. Anyway, you pay that to Silver Creek. Don't pay any other E&O carriers, or you're going to be extra insured and you won't get any money back because the other companies don't like doing that. So you're covered. Don't worry about it. We want you to pay by the end of October, and then our new policy starts in November. Okay, copy of it is on the toolbox if you need it for anything. Light reading material. Just stay out of trouble and we won't need you. You won't need to know what's on that. Now through December, your local, state, and national association dues are due. So I know, crunch time with the holidays. So just budget for that. Make sure that you get those paid when they're due. I know that Boise Regional Realtors has a $200 late fee. $200. You don't want to throw that out the window, do you? So just pay on time. I don't know about the other associations, for those of you online, what their late fees are, but it's not worth it. So get those paid. It's local, state, and national. That's what allows you to call yourself a realtor. You have so much information and so many resources at all three of those levels. If you don't utilize it, you're missing out on a lot. Okay, so please make sure you do that. Right away, well, maybe after the meeting, we want you to focus on the meeting today. Some great stuff. Confirm your contact information in SC office. This is important so we know how to reach you. We know where to email you. We know what number to call. 1099 season is right around the corner, which is the last item there. We're going to be asking for updated information on that end too, so you've got correct 1099 information for your tax purposes. And then anytime, stop by and see me. My office is on the other side of this wall, or call. I'm not scary. Well, it is Halloween. Wait, no, I'm not scary at all. I even have candy. I tell all the new agent orientation people I've got candy in my office, so to bring you in. Super approachable myself, and then Kristen Scanlon is my managing broker, and she's just down the hall on the left. So don't forget, we're here for you. Okay? It's kind of a crazy time in our market, so don't get discouraged, and if you need a pep talk, just give me a call. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Have a good one, everybody.
Thanks, Krista. One thing that Krista mentioned to me that I didn't know is that some associations have a payment plan available. So we know that's a big chunk that you have to pay with your association renewal. So check with your association and see if that is an option for you, if that's a need. I do have a couple of spots right up front, if you don't mind squeezing that in. Come on in. And we can also pull out some more chairs. Oh yeah, the first row, the front. Right, front row or second row or third row. I've got plenty of seats.
Here, I can see.
Okay, awesome. All right.
Thank you.
We always like to highlight a service that we have available here at Silver Creek that you can utilize in your business. We've been receiving a lot of questions and calls about Lux VT, so I just wanted to share, just remind what that program is. This is a service that allows you to market a luxury listing or maybe a uniquely Idaho property in a national and international marketing space. So it will get you ads in the Wall Street Journal, Mansion Global, Robb Report, among others, and then in over 100 international sites in native languages. So if you have a higher end listing, if you're having a hard time moving that and need to do some additional marketing, this is a great program to look into. There is a small annual cost, a very small input fee when we start that listing, but then the marketing cost itself is not paid until closing. And that's just wonderful. I think any listing agent can appreciate when you don't have to pay for all the marketing expenses up front and can pay at close. That also means if you don't close, you don't pay. So anyway, fantastic program. Encourage you to check it out on the toolbox under Silver Creek Media. All right, this is our first official announcement. I'm so excited. We are celebrating Silver Creek's 15-year anniversary this year. Yay! Confetti, cannons, all of the things. George and I, and several agents here at the brokerage, were agents on day one when Silver Creek started, which is kind of hard to wrap our head around. And it's incredible to see that all that we have accomplished, all the impact that we've had in the agent community, in the industry, with buyers and sellers, collectively as a group. And it's really something to celebrate. So please mark your calendars. Feel free to get your phone out right now and put this on your calendar. November 7th, that is just over a month away. It will replace the sales meeting that would happen that day. This will be a live event at the Stickle Sky Center at Boise State University. We will also be live streaming for those that are unable to make it in person. We do require tickets because there are only so many seats available, and we do expect it to be a full house. So you need to go to the Silver Creek calendar and reserve your ticket. Tickets are free for real estate agents. So that means all Silver Creek agents, this is free. We will have breakfast. We have two incredible speakers. The first keynote is Darren College. He is a retired NFL football player and former Boise State player. He now works in the athletic department at Boise State. He was also in the National Guard. He's an incredible person. He will be one of our keynotes. The second keynote will be an economist. His name is Josh Erskine. He's the CEO of CalCon, which is our partner company in Bluebird Home Loans. He is phenomenal. He is about the most plugged into what's happening day to day in the economy of anyone that I've experienced. In fact, he puts out several times a week an economic update, and you can find that on the toolbox under education. We are publishing those for you so you can get his insight to what's happening, not just with rates, but all the things that are affecting rates, inflation and unemployment and oil and overseas stocks, and just the vast amount of information is really powerful. So we hope you guys can join us. It is going to be an amazing celebration, and we are really looking forward to it. Any questions about that?
Darren is a former real estate client of mine.
Well, look at that. Darren is a former real estate client of one of our agents.
Yeah.
How about that? I love it. So we'll save you a seat on the front row.
And a Super Bowl champion too.
Super Bowl champ. I love it. Thank you. It's going to be excellent. And you're going to be hearing a lot about this. Just be prepared. For good reason. Okay, upcoming classes. Excellent, of course, classes every single week at Silver Creek. We've got our open tech hour and marketing workshop tomorrow. Thursday, hosting successful open houses. We are seeing more and more open house opportunities as listings are hanging out on the market just a little bit longer. If you're looking to up your game in open houses, get some fresh ideas, please join us on Thursday. Next week, Monday, is a federal holiday. That means it is not a business day when you're calculating your timeframes and your contracts. Now, the Silver Creek offices are still open. From what I understand, the majority of title companies are still open. But double check if you've got closings happening around this time, make sure that you've got all your bases covered. We also have a couple great CE classes next week, VA lending and FHA loans, negotiation class, another skill that we can all work on, probably refining and taking to the next level, a realtor training from our lender partner, and then another CE. So jump on. Raise your hand if your license expires before the end of this year. Any of you? Not one of you? Oh, wow, I am impressed. Okay, if you are live streaming in, if your license expires before the end of December, now is a great time to start your CE. The number of phone calls that I field the last week of the month, every month, frantic for CE classes, it's a very real thing. So start early, get your CE done. There's lots of free CE available to you. Okay, our next sales meeting is October 17th. I'm questioning my date all of a sudden. Recession Proof Your Business. Kyle's son from the Hughes Group, he is their coach and team manager, works directly with Kevin Hughes. He will be sharing his best tips. So I love partnering today's sales meeting with our next sales meeting, because we're going to be hitting two different angles of really withstanding the changes that we're experiencing in our market. So please join us, that'll be fantastic. Okay, another reminder, if you haven't signed in, if you are online, go to the link, all lowercase, and get signed in for sales meetings so you can be eligible for our giveaway. All right, we're going to turn a few moments over to Justin Westover with Bluebird Home Loans. Bluebird Home Loans is our in-house lending partner. This is a joint venture that we launched on August 1st. We are thrilled. The team of lenders with Bluebird is superb, bar none. So Justin, we'll turn a few moments over to you.
Yeah, thank you. So I was very tempted to get up here and tell you that rates were going down, but I just couldn't do that to you because we are getting our butts kicked. I don't know if you've been watching the markets, but the last 10 days have been ugly. And we have been saying that things were probably going to get uglier before they got better, and boom, we predicted it. They are worse. Rates are not great. They are probably the worst that they've been. Despite what it felt like October, November last year, they're worse. But I just want you all to remember that people, as you, I did a video for the Silver Creek Connection email that goes out. Remember the 5 Ds. People are still buying. People are still selling. There are transactions happening. Don't stick your head in the sand. Don't get depressed. Don't get anxious. Don't get any of those. Work and activity will defeat that. And as you are active, as you are out in the market, you will find leads. You will find people who are going to buy. But it's going to be more difficult right now. So I don't know if that sounds like a really good rah-rah, but just remember, there are loads and loads of options that we can provide to help your clients in situations that you may not think are doable. Bridge loans, all kinds of different things. There's many, many different ways we can help you. So reach out to Bluebird. We would love to help you figure out ways for your clients to be able to buy and figure out ways for them to be able to do that without having to sell, rent, and then buy. So there are a bunch of ways to do that. But just remember, activity, stay active, stay out in the market, because as the 5 Ds, you've got, in what I call them, you've got diapers, you've got degrees, you've got divorce, you've got death, and you've got downsizing. People are still actively moving, they are transacting, things are happening. It just feels a lot cooler because the weather's cooled down and the market started to slow down. But just stay active. Remember, if you were out there being present in the market, if you are communicating with the market and you're out there, you will find opportunities to transact. Pat?
Can you quote today's rates, conventional government, please?
Geez, I haven't seen rates today, but I'm guessing, depending on the scenario, last I checked Idaho Housing, some of their programs were anywhere from the mid-6s to the mid-7s. That's Idaho Housing, a company that is not trying to make a profit, really. They're trying to operate and keep their doors open. So I would say that most of your lenders, I mean, you're probably anywhere from 7.5 to 8.5 today on conventional, probably just a little bit lower on an FHA program. So yeah, it's not awesome, but there are opportunities, there are ways to get creative. Just don't bury your head in the sand and think that all is lost, because that's when we really manifest our future, is when we act that way. So keep active, let us know how we can help you. And what I was gonna say is a quote that I saw recently that I love, that I think is very apropos right now, is train your eyes to see opportunities where your eyes normally sees problems, because those two go hand in hand, especially in markets like today. Opportunities are really the same thing as problems. So train your eyes to see those, and as you look for those, give us a call, let us know how we can help. We'd love to do that. So any last questions before I let you go? Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Rah, rah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get our friend Tara pulled up here. Okay, I've got Tara up here on the screen. She is with Cutco Closing Gifts, Gifts with an Edge. She is going to take just a few minutes and share about her service as our sponsor today. Go ahead, Tara.
First of all, Kristen, I want to just say watching your meeting in silence is like watching a silent movie and just figuring out what you guys are saying. I'm like coming up with my own ideas. I'm just going to put background, talk to what you guys are saying, and then make my own reels. I think that'll be terrific.
I look forward to it. That's great.
So hi everybody, thanks for letting me come on virtually today. Sorry I couldn't be there with you live and in person, but I am Tara Michelli. I'm with Cutco Closing Gifts. So I do the knives. Hopefully everybody is familiar with that. I'm sure you've seen my emails, my Facebook, my Instagram, all of the things. I've been around, I've been in your office. So what we do is we take our products, which have been around for about 74 years now, all American made, and we engrave them with your information. So we put your logo, your name, your tagline, something real clever like sharpest realtor in town. Thanks for being a cut above. Maybe stop cutting my commissions. That was thank you for laughing. It's the only joke I have. So we put it right there and make your client gift into a long-term branding and retention tool. So it's really the only way to be in front of your clients 365 days a year, because everybody in America, you guys, they all have one thing in common. They all eat, right? So knives are being used every single day. The kitchen is the heart of the home. That's what NAR tells us. So these are going to be out sparking conversations about you and your services when you're not even there, with their friends and their family, everybody that's over and gathering. So the great thing also is, because you put your name and number on these, your information right there on the product, now that converts it over into advertising or marketing, making it 100% tax deductible in that advertising and marketing realm. The IRS currently allows you to deduct $25 for a client gift. There is a little rumor going around that that's going up to $27. Don't get super excited, but right now it's only $25. So, but when you put your name and number on something, it becomes 100% tax deductible. So you guys, I am providing you a dishwasher safe business card. You're welcome. The other thing that I want you guys to think about is having systems in place for your business. So you guys should be spending time thinking about running your business, not running around trying to figure out what the heck to get your clients for gifts. So this puts a system in place where you send all of your gifts up front in one box to save you on the shipping. We spread out your payments monthly if you want to keep your cash flow in check, but you have the gifts on hand. You grab them, give them, they love them, you're done. You guys just have your systems there. If you guys are gonna write anything down that I say today, write this down, this date, the Friday before Thanksgiving. If you're gonna give Cutco for gratitude gifts, your gold group, you need to be making sure that those gifts are out the Friday before Thanksgiving. And here's why. Those gifts are going to be used at Thanksgiving and Christmas and all the holiday parties in between, and guess who's going to be talked about way more. So you're not going to get lost in the shuffle of Christmas, right? Make sure all your gifts are out before right before Thanksgiving. So I usually do a drawing on these. We're not going to do that today. We are going to do a drawing, but Kristen's going to send me everybody so that I can put you all in the drawing after the fact. And so I will text the winner. So make sure that all those phone numbers are in there so that way I can get a hold of the winner. But yeah, that's what I have for you. It's a little different today.
Love it. Thank you so much. And Tara and her company, they're one of our sponsors for our 15-year anniversary, so you'll be able to meet her in person at the event, and it'll be really fun.
And I'm working on a special giveaway for that.
Ooh,
So that'll be
great.
good. Yeah. So stay sharp, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Kristen has my contact info too, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out.
I'll make sure that her contact info is shared in the forum for everybody. Okay, thank
Thanks,
you so much,
Kristen.
my friend.
We'll talk to you soon.
Later.
All right, bye-bye.
She's sharp.
She is, yes she is. Okay, we are gonna now transition into our speaker today. I am really, really excited to welcome Andrew L. Anderson today. I just want to share a little bit about him, his bio, before we invite him up to just pour into us and inspire us today. So Andrew, he is a coach. He is a speaker and a #1 best-selling author. We do have his books here available for purchase if you'd like to take one home. You can even get an autographed copy today, which is pretty cool. If you are not live in the classroom, but you would like a copy of his book, I'm gonna hang on to some in my office. If you wanna stop by, I'll have those available too. Andrew is a passionate and dedicated individual who believes in empowering others to reach their full potential. With a background in education and coaching, he has become a #1 international best-selling author, speaker, and coach. Andrew's journey started in Boise, Idaho, included a 2-year service mission in Belgium and France. After teaching high school for 6 years, he went on to build and lead a successful real estate coaching program, the Productivity Team, which gained recognition as a leader in the field. Andrew's ultimate drive comes from his family, and he strives to help individuals overcome limiting beliefs, find lasting freedom, and achieve greatness in their lives and businesses. And with that, let's welcome up Andrew.
Oh my goodness, this is so fun. When I was a teacher, I told my students, I'm going to stand for the entire time that we're together, because when the bum is numb, the brain's the same. So if at any time you're wanting to dance, now would be the time to do it. That's all right. Yeah, we had music going before we all got together here. You missed out on that. So, it's an honor to be with you. Again, I will be standing this entire time. So if you want to stand because your brain or your bum is getting numb, I invite you to join me. Just make sure you're not standing in front of someone because they don't want to see your bum. You can just move to the side. Kristen, thank you. Isn't she awesome? Yeah. Yes, let's give her a round of applause. She is awesome. And then Krista, and anyone else whose name starts with a K. Aaron didn't get the memo. It's his dad's fault, so we'll blame him. But it's an honor to be with you guys today. Thank you very, very much for having me. When we transition the slide, it's an interesting business that you're in, real estate. Like, if you think about the 3 major human needs, we have food, clothing, and shelter. All right, so unless you want to be a farmer or you want to work at Victoria's Secret, you guys are in the top 3. You are boots on the ground in our communities. You are there for the 5 Ds that Justin just mentioned and the other stuff as well. You're there for the what he called diapers. We forgot, like, marriages. I don't know if there's a D word that we can
There
put.
wasn't a D for it.
Yeah, so we got to make one up.
It's implied.
Yeah, it's implied. You're there for the big moments of people's lives. And in some incognito way, you're kind of like marriage and family and career counselors. And I know that people just say you're just a realtor, you just show houses and make a buttload of money. And that's not true. As I've been able to work side by side with you for the last 10 years, you drive our communities because you really are there in those big moments. And I want you to know that what you're doing, although it may seem salesy and not important to a lot of people, it really is. And if I have any say in it, the realtor will never disappear in our industry. So thank you for being you. I also have learned that despite what we see on social media, you're actually very humble, right? It's not ego-driven. You are learning-based. You are fearless. You are willing to do whatever it takes to learn and grow. And I love that. Next to teaching teenagers, you're probably the second biggest group of people that is making huge changes to their lives. And I love that willingness and that humility and that coachability that you have. And the agents that understand the principles that I'm going to go through today, they don't just double, triple, quadruple, whatever their business, but they find something that maybe has been missing for a while. It's passion. It's purpose. It's that joy and excitement and fulfillment you got the very first time you put your sign in the yard and said, I am listing my first property. It's beyond what you felt when you received your first check like I did after 7 months of making $0. And I'm like, $7,000! And there's something beyond that got you into the business for the first place that maybe you've lost. And if you can find it again, we'll get you connected and grounded to a source that will provide something that maybe you haven't had for a very long time. So if we can accomplish that today, will that be worth your time?
Sure. Yes, sir.
All right, great, thank you. And if you had said no, I would have left. You could take my books. Kristen said she'd buy one for all of you. It was very kind. But it's remarkable what happens when we finally figure out why we're here, okay? So when people introduce me, you hear author, speaker, coach, and that's great. Thank you, Kristen, for reading the bio. I appreciate that. But I'm more than that. I'm also a husband and a new father. Thank you. Yes. Yep. We're helping to repopulate the earth. When we go out on a date, people come up and they're like, "Oh!" First of all, he's super chubby. He's the biggest baby I've ever seen. And then they always say, "Is this your first?" And it's really. I look at my wife and she looks at me and we say, "No, it's our 7th." And then they automatically say to her, "You're too young to have 7 kids." And then they don't say anything to me because I have gray in my beard and I'm an old man now, I guess. When people say, "How did you have 7 kids?" I tell them, that's a presentation for another day. But in short, here's how it works. 2 wives, 7 kids. Never at the same time. Right? This is Idaho, not Utah. But there were 2 women who I was married to at 2 different times that helped to contribute to this huge, awesome family. Not only am I a husband and a father, but we thought, it's a good idea to get a dog. Because if 7 kids, who cares? Just throw in another human or animal or something. And so we have Joey. I'm also a friend. I love doing all things outdoors. And 10 years ago, I got my first headshot. This is me as a baby. And I became a real estate agent like you. And in between, in the last 10 years, there's a story. Because you don't just become an international bestseller. I, like some of your clients, at one point was homeless. 10 years ago this month, we had just moved back to Boise. We'd been down in Utah for 6 years, and I was enjoying year number 7 of marriage. We had 2 beautiful little girls. Last month, 10 years ago, we had a 3rd little girl. I had finished my master's degree in education. I had been teaching for 6 years. I was pouring into these teenagers. I loved my life. And this week, 10 years ago, my wife came to me and said, "I would like to separate." And I found myself living in my parents' basement, 28 years old, believing that not only had I failed her and those 3 little girls, but I had failed my God. Because I believed that that was my stewardship. This circumstances led to me not being able to teach in the classroom, so I also didn't have a career. And this was what I called the dark night of my soul. And I took 100% responsibility for everything that was going on. And it just about killed me. My brother thought this would be an awesome time for me to start a new career. Justin played football with my brother, so my brother has ridiculous ideas, and this was one of them. "Hey, Andrew, you're at the lowest moment of your life. Why don't you get a job where you don't make money for 7 years and you pretend like you have all the confidence in the world and see if it works and people pay you? And I'm like, okay, because I can't trust anything in my own decision making, so I trust my brother who helped me start real estate in the fall of 2013. And what happened was that 6-month separation on Easter morning turned into a wad of papers, because that's what I turned them into. It was a stack, but then they turned into a wad of divorce papers. And that marriage ended, and then I dated your sister-in-law. So we just found this out like right before the meeting. We wrapped all this together in a 5-minute conversation. And I sold real estate for 1 year. And I learned that I loved everything about it except for 3 things. I don't care much for houses. Living in my parents' basement, I don't need a house. The buyers and sellers kind of drove me crazy. I just found them to be annoying. And then other real estate agents also kind of were annoying. So you're like, what did you like? Well, I liked knocking on doors. Strange enough, I liked prospecting. I liked negotiating. I liked winning. And I liked getting paid $7,000 checks for 7 months of work. At the end of that year, I sat down in my broker's office and I literally cried. And I said, I hate this. I don't want to do this anymore. And she didn't know what to do with me because grown-ish men don't walk into your office and start bawling very often. But I was vulnerable. I needed more than my parents were able to offer at that time. She called me the next morning at 7 a.m. and she said, Andrew, what are you doing? I said, I'm writing in my journal. What are you doing? It's 7 a.m. She said, I'm making up a job for you. I'd like to hire you. And I became a pseudo coach. And after a year of pseudo coaching, I became a coach. And we grew a coaching team of 116 agents. There were 3 of us coaches here locally. I started coaching nationally. And for the last 6 years, I've been solo, coaching on my own. I wrote this book. I get to speak. And I got remarried. Yeah, that's wife number 2. She had 2 other kids that she had brought, and someone said, you should have another, because that's a good idea. So then we have my 3, her 2, this boy, Jacob, and then someone's like, this kid's always going to feel like he's different than everyone, so why don't you have another? So then we're going to stop. We do know how this works, so we're done. But it's a privilege to have gone through this journey of working boots on the ground with you for a year, and then coaching agents for the last 9 years. I've worked with 700 of you. Nothing surprises me anymore. I've heard it all. And what I recognized was that you all have something in common. What you shared today, Justin, is not the first time that we have heard about some external market condition that is making it really hard to sell real estate. A real estate agent comes to me because of something external that's going on in the market, in their business, with their marriage, with their family. There's something happening that's happening out here. And what we find out is that if we can really dig deep, it's never about the market. Never. You're shaking your head. You agree. It's not. You know who it's about? Yeah. It's about you. And if you're watching, because you're up here, and I appreciate all of these people who told themselves to be used in my promotions because their pictures are online. Thank you. It's not their fault, but there's always something going on inside that you are pretending, that nobody knows. And maybe it's, I lived in my parents' basement. I went through a divorce. I have an addiction. I tried to take my life. I don't want to be in real estate. I hate buyers and sellers and other agents and houses, for that matter. But what it all comes down to is what I call identity fraud. It's losing your identity in real estate. And it happens so subtly. It's like you sell your soul to social media, or you sell your soul to Cutco, or whatever it is. And it's one of what I call the 7 deadly sins that break down, burnout, and if you're not careful, bankrupt real estate agents. So I'd like you to, if you're writing stuff down, or you can open up a note on your phone, be careful. If you have notifications, you're going to get all kinds of distracted right now. So I turn all notifications off. If you want to talk to me, you have to call me. And even then, I have to see that the phone's ringing because I don't hear it. So if you're worried that you might get distracted on your phone, then don't do it. But I'd like you to open up a note or write down one word, okay? One word. And the word is the answer to this question. What was the single solitary major reason, the one thing, one word, that you got into real estate in the first place? And mine would be Adam, my brother, okay? But there are other reasons. So what is the one reason, the one thing that you were searching for that brought you into this career? All right, 1, 2, 3, raise your hand. Oh my gosh, that's awesome, okay. What am I doing? Would you mind? Tell us your name, and I'm going to tell these people that are watching who you are and what you said. What is your word? Your name first.
What is my word?
Name.
Your name.
My name. Okay, my name is Gail Chapman.
Gail Chapman says the one reason she got into real estate was?
Bilateral hand surgery and not knowing if I could play instruments anymore.
I'm going to say injury.
Injury.
She had bilateral hand surgery injury. Okay? And you couldn't do the work that you were doing before.
Yes.
Okay? Thank you for sharing, Gail.
You're welcome.
Chapman.
Yes.
Right there, mister.
Me.
You. What's your name? Stand up.
My name's William.
William.
Yes. My word is ownership.
William got into real estate because of ownership. What does that mean to you, William?
I was tired of putting time into other people's lives, and like growing their bubble, I guess. Putting all my effort into somebody else's ownership.
William said he was tired of putting all of his effort into someone else's ownership, and he wanted to do that for himself, right?
Yeah. Well, COVID was the second word, I guess. But.
Right. Yeah. Ownership, COVID. Did you have bilateral hand surgery?
But necessity.
Necessity, he said. It was necessity. COVID and ownership. Thank you. I want to hear from one more. Why did you get into real estate? Yes, stand up, tell us your name, and what's your word?
Marilyn Johnson, adventure.
Marilyn Johnson got into real estate for adventure.
You got it.
Like 14 years ago with my husband to McCall, and I was in a job that I'd been in for like 25 plus years, and I was kind of bored. And he appraised this humongous cabin in McCall. And he met the real estate agent there, and the owner took us out in his pontoon boat on the lake so he could get a full rear picture of the cabin. And I don't know, just the whole interaction between everybody. And I was kind of searching. I thought, oh, I think I'll turn my life upside down and go into real estate.
So everyone, Marilyn said that 14 years ago, she was in a career for 25 years. She finds herself on Payette Lake, and she sees this beautiful house with a real estate agent, and she says, I want to live this life of adventure. So Marilyn, it was adventure. We had ownership. We had necessity because of COVID as well as ownership. Who put down one of the F words? It's okay. No, it's the freedom, finances, flexibility, which is why real estate agents get out of the business. Too much freedom. They don't have enough finances, and there's so much flexibility that they stop working. Okay, so you got into it for a purpose. There was something that was calling you, whether it was adventure or ownership or bilateral. Okay, there was something that called you. And what I see happening with so many agents is they forget that call to adventure, to ownership, to freedom, to financial opportunity, to service. Did anyone write down service? Every salesperson has this crazy idea where they're going to work and serve without guarantee of pay. And it's beautiful because it's service-based. And you started for that very reason, and somehow you lost it. And you got distracted by so many things. And you now feel, to some degree, like an imposter. Either I'm making too much money for what I do, or I know, like, oh, what a great problem to have. Like, it's a real thing. Let me tell you about Jill, made up name, who lives in Arizona, made up state. She does $380,000 in GCI, working 20 to 25 hours per week. She has gone through her second relationship. This one was 10 years long. Her third adult child is now in rehab. And she sits down, and do you think we need to talk about scripts and databases and business plans? No. She said, I don't care if I make another dollar in my life, Andrew. I don't want to work anymore. I hate this. It's destroyed my identity, and I've passed it on to my children. Okay, so Andrew's not like a real estate coach. No. It's therapy disguised in speaking, authoring, and coaching. It's just harder to sell, and you can't make as much money if it's therapy. But we all need it. We all need it, because here's the thing. Not only do you feel like a fraud, but you feel like you're broken. There's something inherently wrong with me, because if it wasn't wrong, then one of these books that I read, one of the coaches that I've had, one of the counselors that I went to, one of the sermons that I listened to, one of the workshops or retreats that I attended would have worked for me. But it doesn't. So one of two things is wrong here. It's either me, I am inherently flawed, and therefore I am living a lie as a fraud. Or everything and everyone else, it just nothing works. And I love it when you're at that point, because I can sit down and I can look at you and I can hug you like I did, Kristen, the first time I met you, and I can say, it's not true. All of these 7 deadly sins that I see in your lives, it's deceit. And there's a very simple way to overcome it. And that way is getting grounded. My book is called Strength of the Oak, Strength of the Willow, How to Find Courage and Compassion in a Turbulent World. And it starts with getting grounded. It's a purpose and a passion and a life mission, something that goes beyond adventure. What called you to that adventure? What was it that made you desire to have that ownership and to do something that would free you from even your physical capabilities, right? That life mission is what I call the taproot for your growth. The oak is an incredible tree. The oak will live almost longer than any other tree that we know of on the planet. Do you know what we use oak for besides hideous cabinets in the 1990s? Does anyone know? What is oak used for? Louder. Floors. Okay, we can now have cabinets and floors. We've got all kinds of oak going on. It was used to make ships, oars, whiskey barrels, basketball courts, baseball bats, coffins. You got some more?
About everything.
About everything. It's one of the hardest woods. It lives long. And the reason why is because before it ever sends out any horizontal roots to provide stability, it sends a vertical root to a source of water. Smart. And then it never leaves that source of water. It then is able to send out horizontal roots that will go 2 to 3 times the size of the canopy. Now, most people, I've interviewed hundreds and I have polled thousands. 99% of people cannot stand in front of me and say, Andrew, my life mission is to blank. Is anyone here able to stand up and say, Andrew, my life mission is to blank? You can. Stand up, tell us your name. Yeah, I shouldn't have nodded my head. What's your name? What is your life mission?
I'm Jeannie.
Jeannie.
Yes. In this business, it's to serve. And I have 2 words. One is serve and one is sanity. And it's ironic that you would think I would get into real estate for sanity, right? But 6 years ago, my husband was diagnosed with dementia. And I think God has a real weird sense of humor to make me a caregiver, but this, working with people through and serving them, keeps me sane in the process of being here.
Okay, you are an outlier. I mean, 1 in 100, right? Everyone that's watching, here's what, is it Ginny or Jeannie? Jeannie. I have a great friend named Ginny, so I'm confusing you. You're both beautiful. Jeannie said 6 years ago her husband was diagnosed with dementia, and her 2 words for her life mission are sanity, but first it's service. And you got into real estate as a way to serve, And in serving others and in serving your husband, it keeps you sane. That is grounding. If you know her, I mean, for those of you that do know her, she's probably one of the most grounded person. I felt that when I met you this morning and I shook your hand. I thought, wow, this woman is composed. She knows what's going on. She has a life mission. You have a purpose. And whether it's a baby or a husband, there's no choice whether or not you get up and serve. Because when I look at my wife at 12:30 in the morning, which I know some of you go to bed at that time, but I'm like 9:30, 10. So like if I'm looking at her, she's smiling as she's taking care of our baby. I'm like, I can't believe you're happy about this. You've been doing this forever. And she is. And her purpose and her passion right now is simple. It's not even a statement. It's a one word. It's motherhood. And I love that about her. I'm so grateful that she does that and I get to do this. Most people don't know what their life mission is. And so they're sending out horizontal roots and vertical shoots, and they have this awesome looking tree. But when the storms come and you're not grounded to a source and you don't have that built up stress wood, as it's called, then you tumble. Now, if you're like, oh, crap. What do I do, Andrew? Don't worry, I'm going to teach you how to make a life mission statement. It's very simple. But we got to look at Aristotle first. The wise philosopher said this, that each human being is bred with a unique set of potentials that yearn to be fulfilled as surely as the acorn yearns to become the oak within it. Now, we're going to play a game. And I need one of the most trustworthy people in this room, Krista Deacon, the broker. I need you to select which person in here you deem very trustworthy. This is not like...
If she can't answer, we're in trouble.
Yeah. Just give me one. One very trustworthy person.
Patrick.
Patrick. Patrick, come on down. Everyone give Patrick a round of applause. Woo-hoo! Thank you, Patrick. Trustworthy. Patrick, as you come down here, I need your participation.
All right.
Did we talk about this before?
We did not.
Great. I learned your name, I complimented your handkerchief, and that's about it. When I'm an old man, I want to be as good looking as you.
Well, how was that?
That's your life mission.
Foot out of mouth.
When I am a wiser man and have spoken hundreds of thousands of times and learned what not to say, I want to be as wise as you. Patrick, is there anything that I have shown you in my backpack before we got together today?
No.
Okay. Listen, there is something in my backpack that human eyes had never seen before. Do you believe me?
No.
No. All right. Because that seems illogical. But I promise. Okay? Kristen can account for, to some degree, my trustworthiness. She believed in me enough to come. I came. I didn't get paid. I just like being with you. But she believes me. And I can't let her down, because if I mess this up, there's like, what, 87,000 agents at Silver Creek right now?
Yeah.
Give or take? Yeah. You guys, you're the elite. You showed up. So there's 87,000 agents. I can't mess this up. My character is on the line. So, Kristen.
Yes.
Do you believe that there's something in my backpack that human eyes have never seen before? I promise you there is.
Yes.
Hold on, let me look and make sure. Yes, there is something in here. Do you believe me?
If you say there is, then I believe there is.
Okay, do you believe her who believes me?
Yeah.
Oh, great! I'm a really good negotiator. Is there anyone in here that says, no? Like they must be scheming. My non-believers, raise your hand. Okay, put your hands down. My believers, raise your hand. Everyone else that's not participating, raise your freaking hand. Okay. I promise there is something in here. You now believe. Okay.
I do.
Great. I'm going to tell you thank you and show you what's in here because I've seen it. The thing in my backpack that human eyes have never seen. I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
That's not true.
Okay, stop arguing. I feel like I'm home. I left this morning with a house full of homeschooled kids, hoping not to argue. Patrick, you believe me?
I do.
Oh, so nice not to argue. I hope to be as wise as you someday. Here it is. Ready? Now, are you confused or do you get it?
Confused.
Okay, let me tell you.
Oh, grasshopper.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Okay, am I telling the truth? There's something in my backpack that human eyes have never seen before.
Yes.
Yes, okay, now he is an eyewitness with me of something in my bag that human eyes have never seen before. Any of you non-believers want to change your mind?
No.
Oh, okay. Everyone give Patrick a round of applause. Thank you, Patrick. We'll talk about that later. No, I'm just kidding. Anyone else like Patrick confused, or does someone get it? You got the riddle. Oh, Andrew, you sneaky little devil.
Inside.
The inside. What's inside of an apple?
Seeds.
Seeds. Have human eyes ever seen the very seeds inside this apple before? No. Dang it, y'all. You got to believe me. I told you. Kristen told you. Patrick told you. And guess what? There's something inside you that yearns to be fulfilled, that human eyes have never seen before. And this is one of my gifts. It's the same gift that Stacy had when I was 28 years old, crying in her office when she looked at me and said, I'm going to make up a job for you. There's something inside you, and I don't know why, but I see it. And every now and then, I see someone specifically, and I just can't stop looking because I know that there's something in there that is not coming out. And so you feel like an imposter, and you're walking around like a fraud, and you know what it costs you? Not just sales and business or a career. It costs you relationships. It costs you your happiness. And those are things that we can't put a price tag on. There's hope. 5 simple questions. I invite you to write these down. And I'm going to go through them with a volunteer who would like to walk out today with a life mission in 3 minutes. Who is it? Who's the volunteer? Yes, my original non-believer. You now believe. Tell us your name.
Maria.
Maria. Then Maria. I don't know if you speak Spanish or not.
I do.
Okay, I was pretending like you did, which worked out really well in my favor. I had to make up for what happened with Patrick, who has left the room. I offended him. He is gone forever. Just kidding. Everyone online, he's in the back. Maria, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
My name is Andrew. 5 simple questions. Here we go. Question number 1. It's very simple. It's who were you meant to serve? At the end of the day, Maria, when you think about everyone on this planet, who do you believe that you were meant to serve?
Everyone I love, my kids probably.
Everyone that you can love.
Yeah.
And I think that's beautiful because not everyone, you can't love everyone. I mean, you can try, but not everyone wants to be. So specifically, you narrowed it to your kids. So you were meant to serve everyone that you can love, but right now it's your kids, okay? What unique gifts, Maria, do you have to offer that they desperately need? Don't overcomplicate this. The first thing that comes to your mind, what unique gifts do you have to offer?
My time, my attention.
Your time and your attention. And does a child really need much more than time and attention? When they're being annoying, isn't that what they're asking for?
Yeah.
So we have this game, we don't say to Brody, stop being annoying. He's the redheaded stepchild who literally is my redhead stepchild, but he's my child, and we love him, but he's 10 years old. And 10-year-old boys, they enter this 2-year cycle, and you wonder, like, how are they ever gonna make it? And instead of saying, stop being annoying, we say, please be pleasant. And he really is. He's one of the kindest, softest, most pleasant, sensitive. He has none of the redheaded stepchild stereotypes. He's incredible. But sometimes he's annoying. So instead of saying, don't be annoying, we say, please be pleasant. Reminding him that that's who he is. And what he really wants is time and attention. And you know, Maria, that you can offer your time and attention to your children and others that are looking for love, right?
And your boy, he'll never stop being stubborn. Just.
That's right. It comes with
Yeah.
the territory. So, Maria, what is so important to you about using your individual gifts to serve these specific people?
What is so important to you?
Yeah, what is so important to you about that? When you, look at me, don't worry about this. When you can give your time and attention to your children, what is so important to you about that?
I feel I am accomplishing my desire, what I'm here for.
She feels like she can accomplish her desire and what she's here for. And what does this do for you?
Oh, it makes me very happy.
Look at them.
It makes me very happy. A very proud mom.
So why are you here, Maria?
Because I want to be better. Like I want to grow every inch of myself to better serve others
Stop.
or my kids.
Oh, that was good. I am here. My name is Maria. My life mission is to grow myself to better serve my children and those who need love with my time and attention, period. Give her a hand. That was amazing. Thank you so much. Hey, as a thank you, I would like to spend 30 minutes with you on me and just see how maybe I can help you with this life mission.
Just tell me when.
Okay, great. We'll do that in a second. Thank you, Maria. One more time, give her a hand. It really is this simple. Who you were meant to serve. I've heard it said that you are best positioned to serve the person you once were. You are best positioned to serve the person you once were, which is why I talk about identity fraud, because I felt that way. It's why I talk about the other 6 of the 7 deadly sins. It's why I'm starting a nonprofit to provide coaching to young adults. Because if I had had what I learned in my 30s, then maybe I wouldn't have had to go through some of the pain of my 20s. When you know who you're meant to serve and you recognize your unique gifts, then you are in your zone of genius. You're living a life mission. And what's important to you, it's usually an answer of something like, it's a call, it's my purpose, it comes from God, it lights my soul. There's something beyond just, I get paid. And by the way, your life mission and your career don't have to line up. And yet when they do, you won't work another day in your life. What does this do for you? She lit up, right? She said, it makes me happy. If it doesn't excite you and make you happy, then we're missing the mark, or we're looking beyond it. Because when we hit that mark, it provides a joy. It's a day when I get off a call or one of you leaves my office and I do this and just like, yes, yes, yes. And my neighbor Bill, who offices next door, he's like, I don't know what goes on in there. People are crying, you're jumping and shouting, but you feel it. And you know you're doing what you were meant to do. So, if you need more, Maria, I'm going to do this with you, okay?
Okay.
I wish I could do this with all of you. And some of you are like, yeah, it would be nice, but like some of you are like, I need to talk to Andrew. Then I would be happy to spend time with you, okay? And if in the first 5 minutes I don't feel like we should spend an entire 30, I'm not going to waste your time or my time. I'm going to find out really quickly if we should keep talking. And if not, that's okay, because I promise in that 5 minutes, I can help one of 3 things happen. You will have a breakthrough and learn something that maybe you never knew about yourself, like Maria and I did in 5 minutes. Or I'll connect you with someone that I think will be the next person to help you. Or I'll help you. And either one of those 3 options I'm okay with. I want you to know that there is more. There is something inside you that is yearning to be fulfilled, just like the seeds inside this apple or the acorn inside of the oak tree. One more time, I want to give big gratitude to Kristen and Aaron for having me. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
yes.
Andrew. And a round of applause for Andrew. It's amazing how in such a short time, we had Andrew actually for 40 minutes, not 30, but I think all of us can walk away just with some thoughts going on, right? Even with those 5 simple questions. I hope you're able to gain something today that can move you forward in your business at this time, wherever you are. Some agents are having, the busiest year yet, and some agents are wondering how to find that next client who's able to buy or sell. And wherever you are, you do have a purpose, and you are making a difference. You are making impact, and as we can really dial in what that is, you're going to feel that fulfillment. So thank you all. Andrew will be here for a little bit after the meeting if you would like to pick up one of his books or shake his hand, get a picture, and we will see you all at the next sales meeting.
Great. Thank you.